Well, hi there, and welcome to the ISC FX Options Weekly Outlook for August 15th, 2011. As always, this is Jason Ayers of OptionsSource.net. Let's take a look at a weekly chart of the U.S. dollar index. Well, the dollar index continues to be range-bound, spending the last 2 weeks between the 74 and 75.5 focal zone. Now, the 76-77 level remains an important overhead resistance, while a weekly close below 74 opens the window for a drop down to test support at 73. Let's take a quick look at the daily snapshot here. This daily chart reveals the consolidation taking place between 74 and 75 and illustrates the important near-term support and resistance levels. Next up, the CDD, the U.S. versus the Canadian dollar. Well, the CDD held support this week at the 98.99 focal zone, lending credibility to a possible continuation higher. However, after such a significant move higher over the last 2 weeks, we are open to a retracement down to test support at 96.97. Let's take a look at the U.S. dollar versus the Japanese yen as seen here in the ISC FX Options pair value YUK. Well, the YUK retraced all of its gains and now consolidates within the 76-77 focal zone. Failure to hold 76 opens the window for a continuation lower. A break above 77, however, lends credibility to a move towards the 79.80 zone to test resistance once again. Let's take a look at the U.S. dollar versus the euro as seen here in the EUI. Well, the EUI continues to consolidate within the indecisive sideways triangle we have had on our radar for several weeks now. A break above 71 should confirm a move higher. However, a break below 70 suggests a retest of the 68-69 focal zone for support. Let's take a look at the BPX, the U.S. versus the British pound. Well, the BPX made a break higher to test 62, but closed the week on the low side. A close back above 62 opens the window for a continuation higher. Consolidation below 61.5 is likely to yield a test of support down at 60.5. Let's take a look at the U.S. dollar versus the Australian dollar as seen here in the ISC FX Options pair value AUX. Well, the AUX hit our 97.98 target and closed the week just below 97. Now, a break above 98 is likely to yield a continuation higher. However, at this point, we are open to a retracement down to test support at 95.96 after such a significant move higher. Let's take a look at a few of our key points. First of all, the U.S. dollar index remains range-bound between 74 and 76 for another week. A break above 76 should signal a bigger picture move higher. 74 remains a very important support level. The CDD held above the 98.99 focal zone. Support sits at 97. A break above 99 opens the window for a continuation higher. However, we are cautious of a retracement lower after such a significant move to the upside over the last 2 weeks. The YUK failed to hold support at 78 and now consolidates along the lows. A break back above 77 should signal a tradable opportunity to the upside. The EUI remains indecisive. A break above 71 opens the window for a continuation higher. The BPX broke higher last week, but closed below 61.5. A break back above 61.5 suggests a possible continuation higher. Failure to break the 61.5-62 resistance lends credibility to test back down to the lows at 60.5 for support. The AUX continued higher last week to hit our 97.98 resistance. A break above 98 should signal a continuation higher. However, we are suspect of a retracement lower to test support at 95.96 after such a significant move to the upside. And this has been your ISC FX Options Weekly Outlook for August 15th, 2011. As always, this is Jason Ayers of OptionsSource.net, reminding you to sign up for your free webinar at www.optionssource.net. Thanks for joining me here this week. We'll see you here next week.